Hello, my name is Rishabh Mehrotra and I am currently pursuing my BTech in Computer Science at Bennett University, and I am currently in my final year, and this particular video focuses upon my last semester internship at Lido learning as a product analyst. So I'll be discussing my journey of this starting from 6th of January till 30th of April, that how I actually started off with this organization and what was these hurdles that I actually faced in this particular time period, and what actually I was pursuing in these substantial weeks. So I actually started off on 6th of January at Lido Learning, and I joined the company as product analyst. So I had around 2 weeks of training with Mr. Gaurav Das at the organization, and the internship for the training focused upon the product, in-depth details of product, that what their actually product is and how they're actually coping up with that, and how they're actually uh, increasing their market value and increasing the market share. So as everyone know that Lido Learning is an edtech organization, similarly to Byju's and Extra Marks and Vedantu maybe. So the initial 2 weeks focus upon the in-depth analysis of the product, that what they're actually using and what are the issues they're actually facing right now, and what plans they had for the next 2 to 3 months to actually came up with the new products. So the initial 2 months after the training, I focused upon the Salesforce part. That was the platform they were using to actually punch their orders. So this was the first project that was actually given to me, and we actually work in a team of 12 people. There were around 6 programmers, 3 product analysts, 2 apart from me, and 2 product researchers, and 1 senior product analyst. So basically what we used to do is we actually gather the information from the product research team, and that what actually are the issues that the BDAs, that is the sales team, are actually facing, and what is the feedback they're actually getting from them regarding the punching of orders. So Salesforce was a platform that we were using, but Salesforce is a particular team. So how to actually personalize that Salesforce, that was the main agenda. So the current scenario was that we were actually able to punch the orders around 3 to 5 days after the sale has been made. So we actually have to develop an on the spot experience for that, so that when the sale has been made, the BDA at the parents' home can actually punch the order right and right at their spot only, so that the parents does not get flipped after the sale has been made after 2 to 3 days, or the process for the delivery of that tablet gets initiated really fast. So we actually came up with a certain blueprint, which I'll show in the later part of the video, that what were the steps taken regarding that. So this project took around 2 to 3 weeks to actually do the brainstorming with the senior team and senior analyzer, and we came up with a blueprint that this is how we are actually on to progress. And then we pitched the idea to the programmers team and asked them whether that is possible or not. So the programmers took around 1 week of time, and then they said yes, this can be made. So in the span of after around 6 weeks, that was in the month of late February, we came up with the new Salesforce, and which was actually capable of punching the orders on the spot. So this was the first achievement that we as a team of 12 people achieved. So and then we make around few minor improvements to actually get this thing all more quicker and more bug free. So by the end of March, we were supposed to actually do this thing through the implement this same thing on the app also, the Salesforce app. But due to the pandemic, we actually put that project on hold, and we have to come up something new, because the current model that we were working upon, that was the home conduction model, that the sales team actually have to go to the home of the people and then get the sale done. But in the pandemic situation, that was not possible, so we actually have to come up with something that actually solves this issue. So we came up with the project that was called as Plutus. So Plutus is the video call platform. Basically it's kind of, you can relate it with the Zoom. I'll tell you what are the relations with that. So basically Plutus was the video call platform that was initiated by Lido Learning in the starting when the company started. So basically company started with the VC mode at Lido Learning. Plutus was not actually introduced that time. So basically what happens is in the way the classes are actually held at Lido Learning, there is a presentation mode, there is a whiteboard, and there is a camera mode in which the teacher and the students can see each other. So we actually have to come up with a replica of that, so because that was only available for the subscribers, and whereas we have to come up with something that actually every parent and the sales team will actually be using for the video call conduction for the video call conduction. So we actually have to create a replica of the Plutus, whereas we actually have to add certain things in that, because the exact replica would only the original Plutus only has these 3 modes, and then the course have been implemented into that, so that the classes are actually done on a regular basis. But when I talk about the session for around 1 hour, so in that 1 hour there should be a certain things in that presentation mode, which the salesperson actually has to convince, helps them, the sales team, to convince the parents regarding the product. So we actually started off with this project, whereas we actually can directly convert the lead into the opportunity part from the sales force, and then that opportunity gets reflected in the Plutus, and then through that we could actually start off with the so that we can actually start off with the particular opportunity and then start off the conduction. So we actually ran brainstorming of that, and it takes around 2 to 3 days for us to actually get to the final first version of this particular product, that how this thing is going to be actually going to be looked. So so we came up with this blueprint and we discussed it with the programmers, and then we worked upon it, and in 1 week or 2 week maybe we came up with the first version of Plutus. So that actually has that opportunity which I discussed a few minutes ago. That opportunity gets reflected in the Plutus platform, and from there when you click on that opportunity you get a link. That link has to be shared with the customer, that is the parents, and the parents will click on that link. They'll have to enter the registered mobile number that is with the Salesforce team, and as soon as they enter the mobile number, then they have to further click on that join class, and then they'll join class, right? So now if I talk about on the perspective of the sales team, so in the sales team what happens is they actually have to click on that live opportunity, they'll get the link, then send the link to them, and they have to start the session from there. So as soon as they click on a start session, they'll see a screen as login. First the sales member has to log in with his mobile number for the authenticity, and this authenticity, why this thing is being used, I'll let you know from both ends actually. So they do that, and then they get into the class screen, and from there you actually have to start the class at a particular time, and then the session gets started after the audio and the video check, and then the presentations and the Plutus streams came up. So the reason that I discussed about this, or the login with the mobile number, it actually has an OTP which the person receives. This is used for the confirmation of the recording of the classes. At every session that the sales team actually takes, it gets recorded in our database. This is very essential part of working from home. So this was the main reason I discussed with the OTP. This happens on both ends, as well as the CX ends and from the VDS ends. So this was the initial Plutus. Now what things has to be added up in the presentation part to actually proceed with that. So there has to be certain point that what is about the customer, what is the product, the customer's marks in the Olympiad, the pricing scales, and the videos, some questions. There has to be multiple things that actually has to in that. So we came up with some brainstorming, and we came up with the first version. So we faced few issues in the first version, and that is the sales was unable to join and certain things. So in 3 days later we came up with the second version of Plutus, which were actually being currently used till by the end of by the mid of May, and version 2 is being still used. We started with the version 2 in around mid of the April. And so yeah, this was the whole journey, right? We started working on Salesforce, and the last project that we did in the pandemic, that was the Plutus one. So what happens is we started off the product analyst. So a product analyst actually has to analyze that what is the situation needed for the particular company at the particular situation. So we could actually give up the certain idea, we could actually frame that particular product that is actually in need, and then the help the programmers to actually guide them and get that project on board. So yeah, it was around, we started in the month of January, 6th of January, and yeah, currently I'm actually pursuing that part. So I'm still in that part. So yeah, it's been around 20-25 weeks of journey with the team. So yeah, it was actually very nice journey. It actually helps a person very much, because you are actually directly out of the college and you get in the organization, and directly you are helping them to guiding them that these are the steps that can be taken, because we are from the generation whereas we use the tech very much. So we actually know what we as a person needed, and when we have that in mind, we actually can suggest the best of the ideas for the organization, which actually they can use for the future. So now in the later part of the video, I'll be showing you some presentation of the actual screenshots that we actually did in this particular. So this is the screen of Plutus, whereas you can see the name of the student as Lucky Ahuja, and as soon as you click on that name, you will see at on the right hand side as start appointment. As soon as you click on that, what happens is this screen comes up. You have to copy that link and send it to the customer. So what you have to do is, that is the DDA, that is they have to log in it through their mobile number. They'll receive an OTP here, and then the screens will come up. Here, as you can see at launch class, you click on launch class, you have to say as I am ready, you have to do the join class, and this screen will come up. So here on the bottom left hand side, you can see as your webcam. So beside that, the child's webcam will come up. So this is the presentation screen. As soon as you click on the presentation screen, these are the certain options that will help BDA to communicate with the child. This is the whiteboard, this is the video mode. Here we have the aspect ratio of both is around, I think, 4:2. If I may remember, as like the CX screen would be in 1:1 ratio, and yours will be in around 8:2 ratio, of that is 4:1 ratio. So if I combine node is in a rectangular window, what we have fitted is key, they would be the 4 ratio would be for the parents one, and 1 ratio would be for, or 2 ratio would be for yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any queries, you can reach me on these email IDs. If you want to know anything more regarding what was my journey, what are the opportunities available, and moreover want to know that how these things works up and what is the role of product analyst, you can actually ping me on these email IDs and I'll report it back. Thank you so much.